What is up, guys? Millennium Legends back at it, and today we have one of the most hyped up structure decks of recent memory. We have the Albaz Strike structure deck. From everything I keep seeing, reading, hearing, this has a lot of potential around it for a lot of good reasons. We're going to go ahead and break it down. On the back, you can see all the cards that you're expected to get. A cool little playmat. Tri-Brigade Dogmatica. Springin' Sword Souls. On a distant abyss world where different groups coexist as both allies and enemies comes the Fallen of Albaz, a mysterious but powerful figure with no memory of his past. His journey intertwines the destinies of those he meets and brings their stories together in this structured deck of high adventure, containing cards of all four groups, plus the Fallen of Albaz himself and his many fusion dragon forms. That sounds really cool. So I guess this deck has a lot of really cool original lore behind it. It's not necessarily following from the anime series, which is really cool. I hear good things about how Konami can do this and kind of create their own lore, create their own cards, not having to follow structure. So we get some really, really epic products like this. This may have been voted on too. I'm not 100% sure on that. If that was the case, that's insanity. So I watched a couple videos about this deck, and there's a lot of really good stuff in this. So let's go ahead and... This is the playmat, guys. So, sneak peek. These are two of your big bosses that you're going to be pulling out. Staples of the deck. The art story, which I think is really, really cool. If you guys can read it, freeze it, or if you end up getting one of these yourself. And on this side, it shows you all of your different combinations, which is a staple in these playmats. They've been doing this for a while. And of course, I'll have a link in the description too if you guys want to pick one of these up yourself. It was a little bit hard for me to find mine. Also, don't be crazy overpaying for these either. I've seen some places charge triple the price of what these should be retailing for, around like 10 to 15 bucks, somewhere in that ballpark. So keep that in mind when you guys are buying cards and all that fun stuff. But we have Tri-Brigade Murray Courier. Got a 4-star, 800 attack, 0 defense, winged beast. When your opponent activates a monster effect while you control a fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material in the quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard and negate the effect. If this card is banished, you can add it from your deck to your hand, one Fallen of Albaz or one monster that mentions it, except Tri-Brigade Murray Courier. You can only use the effect once per turn. Absolutely insanity. Springin's Kit. 1700 attack, 4-star, 1000 defense, beast monster. And if you have a fusion that mentions Albaz as material on your field or in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add to your hand one of your branded spell traps that is banished or in your deck or graveyard, and then you can place one card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. And then getting into our third ultra rare, we have the Golden Sword Soul, 4-star, 1800 attack, 1500 defense. When a monster declares an attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do negate the attack, then if you control a fusion that mentions Albaz as material, you can destroy the monster that declared an attack. The monster is banished face up except during the damage step. You can banish this card from your field or graveyard, special summon one light spellcaster from your hand or graveyard whose attack equals its own defense. Getting into heavy hitter number 1, Mirror Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon. Look at this artwork, guys. This artwork is craziness. A Albaz +1 Fusion Synchro Xyz or Link monster. You can only control just one of this card once per turn, which is a quick effect. You can send a fusion from your extra deck to the graveyard that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material. Banish one monster on the field. Also, this card cannot use this effect next turn. If this fusion summon card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls during the end phase of this turn. Holy crap. And then Lubellion, the Searing Dragon, 2500 attack, 3000 defense, a dark monster and a Fallen of Albaz, which is not a whole lot of requirements at all to pull this guy off. If this card is fusion summoned, you can discard one card, fusion summon one level 8 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck except this card, by shuffling fusion materials mentioned on it into the deck from your monsters on the field, graveyard, and or face-up banished cards. Holy crap. For the rest of the turn, this card cannot attack. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except fusion monsters. You can only activate this card's effect once per turn. Guys, I think this card makes fusion monsters pretty darn epic in the mainstream Yu-Gi-Oh world, and it gets even better with branded fusion. Summon a fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material from your extra deck using 2 monsters from your hand, deck, or field as fusion materials. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except fusion monsters this turn you activate this card. This is what's going to make all this function. I'd get 2 or 3 of those, without a doubt. We also have Branded Sword. Banish any number of branded spell traps from your graveyard. Special summon that many Ice Blade tokens. Level 8, 2500 attack, 2000 defense. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your banished monsters that is Fallen of Albaz or mentions it. Add that to your hand. Only use it once per turn. This deck is just absolute insanity. Branded Retribution's the last one we'll go over, because I really wanted to cover the foils. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. When a spell or trap or monster effect is activated that includes an effect that special summons a monster, return to the extra deck 1 face-up fusion that you control or 2 fusion monsters in your graveyard that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material. And if you do, negate the activation. And if you do that, destroy that card. You can banish this card from your graveyard also, then target 1 branded spell trap in your graveyard except Branded Retribution, add it to your hand. As I read these out loud, this deck, I think, is going to live up to the hype. We also have Fallen of Albaz. We have Albion the Shrouded Dragon. We have Dogmatica, Fleur-de-Lis the Knighted. We have Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, kind of fits in this deck with all the dark monster support you'll need for some of these fusions. Thunder King the Lightning Strike Kaiju, Chaos Dragon Lebaneer. Radian the Multi-Dimensional Kaiju. We have Artifact Scythe, White Dragon Wyvern Buster, Starliege Seifert, Black Dragon Collapsed Serpent, Keeper of Dragon Magic, Summoner Monk, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, reprinted as a common. I think you guys have heard this already, and if you haven't, this is just pure ridiculousness. Effect Veiler, Omni Dragon Brutar, and then we have Branded Lost, Branded in White, Branded Bond. The artwork on these cards are just crazy. I love it. Fusion Gate, Fusion Recycling Plant, Substitute. We have Gold Sarcophagus, Pot of Extravagance, reprinted as a common too. That's nutty. They didn't have to do that. Called by the Grave, Dark Ruler No More, Screams of Branded, Judgment of the Branded, Necrofusion, Warning Point, Back to the Front, There Can Only Be One, Dimensional Barrier, craziness, Waking the Dragon. Guys, this is really cool. I'm actually really excited about this. We also have Titanclad the Ash Dragon, Brigade the Glory Dragon, Sprin the Iron Dash Dragon, Albion the Branded Dragon. I mean, the artwork on these guys is just absolutely awesome. And then we have these tokens that are all common, just different from some of the other structure decks we've been getting recently, where they may have different art depending on what deck you pick up, which is not the case in this one, of some of the tokens. But Albaz the Shrouded, Ecclesia the Exiled, Tri-Brigade, and then the Virtuous Vestals. These are just beautiful. And that's everything that you're getting, so there's nothing in here, to my knowledge, that changes from structure deck to structure deck like some of the other ones that have recently come out, where it may, like the Spirit Charmers comes to mind from like 2020, where you would get a foil of one of the 4 girls, and that's not the case with this, or like some of the tokens that you would get before. I can recommend this 10 out of 10 across the board. I would grab this. I think fusions are back, guys. I think fusions are going to be meta or mainstream, however you want to phrase it. I think this deck is pure insanity. I'm probably going to pick up 2 more and do some type of deck profile. If you just buy 3, you're on a bit of a budget and you want to put them together. Let me know if you guys want to see that too. I think we're going to do that. I think that'd be pretty cool. Haven't done something like that in quite some time. Not a whole lot of crazy structure decks that have come out like this one. This one got a lot of hype, a lot of anticipation. I think it's well deserved of the hype, especially going over all these brand new cards, Fallen of Albaz, and a lot of the extra spell and trap support that are in there too. I think this deck warrants it. Like I said, I'll have a link for this in the description below if you guys still want to pick one up, and I'll talk to you guys on the next video. You guys have a great day.